we're very excited to have the readers tonight. We've got snacks in the bag, books on the table. Please buy one, and please buy one of Joseph's books. Okay, our first reader tonight is Kyle Schlesinger. He is a poet, book artist, theorist, and cultural critic. His most recent book is Sidney Omar's Wild Children, a collaboration with the Swiss artist Flynn Maria Bergman. Please welcome us and join me, Kyle Schlesinger.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks to Malvern, especially for hosting. This is a great resource in the city of Austin. I'll read a couple poems. Start over. I spent a year on a farm, trying not to freak out, holding food down, breathing and remembering to breathe, waiting for the phone to ring, the door to knock or bust down, listening to records, fixing on small corners and edges, forgetting names for colors and light, in contrast that's distinct from sullen irony and glances. And this week's been a rainy one, and there's a lot of great people in town, lots of lightning bugs, living with Chris, old habits, new routines, and no pressure. And this is a longish prose poem, and the rest are real quick and breezy. But if you can stick with me through the first part of this, we're going to be golden. No pressure. No pressure. Hey, no pressure. There's this movie starring Gene Hackman I watched 3 times one day called No Pressure, where a tough ex-football player turned private eye is hired by an aging Hollywood actress to investigate the disappearance of her promiscuous teenage daughter, Deli. Meanwhile, Mosby, the PI, discovers Ellen, his wife, is having an affair with Marty Eller. Hackman drops in on Quentin, a smart aleck mechanic from Los Angeles who, after getting tuned up by Mosby, confesses that he last saw Deli on a movie set in New Mexico, where she had a tryst with stuntman Marv Ellen, a former lover of the mother. Mosby flies to New Mexico to snoop around the set and is quietly intrigued to find Quentin working on Marv's stunt plane. Mosby has a hunch that Deli might be trying to seduce the ex-actress's ex-lovers, so he travels to the Florida Keys to meet Tom Iverson, Deli's stepfather. Down in the Keys, Mosby finds Deli living with Iverson and Paula, an attractive dolphin trainer. One night, Mosby, Deli, and Paula take a boat out for a late-night dip and discover Elman's corpse in a crashed stunt plane. Then Deli dies in a car wreck. Suspicious of foul play, Mosby interrogates Joey, Quentin, and Ellen. The plot thickens when Quentin sleeps with the dolphins. I've been thinking about this movie a lot lately and just realized it's actually called Night Moves. Sometimes it's difficult to know what one means, to be serious and know what one means. Part 2, Zero Gravity. And there's the store where I refinished the floor, all tiled over. Because epistemology is for lovers, the color of color. Starfish, starburst, starbird, a shadow silhouette on the window. We were just water skiing, looking for a wake, a little tape to put over the light switch. Watermelon, kiddie pool, side yard, and there's nothing you can say that won't change the world. When I say body cams are a symptom, not a solution, I think you feel me, into the long stretch of night driving. Somewhere in between first waking and second sleeping, I walk slowly, like one who comes from so far away and doesn't expect to arrive. Wonder if you'd want to take a stroll in Mount Auburn Cemetery with me sometime. Maybe I'll even bring along some poems on paper that are good to read under trees in a breeze, if we are lucky enough to find one. 3, I like the way you cross your legs when you cross the street, crosshatch patterns gangly like Albuquerque, The patina on Brickyard Pond, where the train tracks were, the names for things. Duende in a new notebook dated June 6th begins with a set list. You just never know. I guess that was just last week. The beer garden was closed, so I came here to swing on the swing and write this. The difference between intuition and instinct. Sometimes seeing is forgetting the name of the thing one sees. 4. Time has taught remember the chalk. What time teaches the proximity of construction sites. What time asks remember the chalk. You never know whose heels follow whose, the pitter-patter, yes, I remember. I've been writing some word salady poems and mentioned something about what I wanted to say. We just got back from the UK. You make everything look easy. You're really a terrific tenor. So do you consider yourself a lucky man? 5. I rang your doorbell and waited. Nobody came. So I smoked a pack of cigarettes on the porch and still no answer. Then I thought, maybe the doorbell's broken. Then I thought, if I could run at the speed of sound, I could ring the bell outside, open the door, zip down the hall, and listen to see if the bell is in fact ringing. Then I thought, if I could run at the speed of sound, I wonder if I could hear anything at all. This is pretty great for Sandy. Somebody calls it a wizard's tea. Somebody came and licked my knee. These are little poems of devotion. Brad, more often in his own time than on time. And that's just one of the things I love about Brad. Nate, a green parakeet, a sunflower in each beak. Grant, my back pages are yellow pages, advertisements for taxidermists who used to drive taxis for a living. Jed, a stupendous episode of Cops in Albuquerque, but you're in Australia couch surfing, and suddenly you're home again. Doug, can't really think of it, Doug. David, a hailstorm in July you never knew you needed until it landed, and everyone stopped to see what's going on. Making a killing. Doesn't really remind me of anyone I know. Moon. When the moon winks at you from across the room. And this is something beautiful, last poem, for John Godfrey. Think of something, now think of something else. The green that is apples is the green you may recall. As you were saying, where you kept putting it, ring and wood reminds, a certain ring to it. Just then the buck stops and everyone gets off, behind twine years. Hum after the house lights come on and on again. Don't even go there. Outcast moon doesn't sound right. There's a table for two through the floating doors, where the air breathes in a small pond, through cattails and sand, where train tracks run forever, and trains we've never seen. Ambient summer storm, we brought our nets anyway. I retrace my steps in the dark, write another 16-liner, and the air feels like my body, like smoke and seaweed, and the streets are empty inside your body. And it's wonderful being inside out. There's something else in the air. No one can touch or stay at home. You clean the bathroom on certain Sundays with the radio on, a transistor plain as day. It's times like these when no one's around, when trees are the weeds of winter, and there's a glow, a green light in the snow. Thanks.